5 with Jane Borenstein, and I'm the interviewer, Marianne Cador, in Bayside, New York.
The left picture, this is my father-in-law. His name was Simcha Borenstein. The right picture is my mother-in-law. Her name was Freude Borenstein. They were born in Zuramin, and the picture was taken in the 1930s. That's all what I know about them.
Did they die during the Holocaust?
My mother-in-law died during the Holocaust. My father-in-law passed away in 1935. This was my husband, Max Borenstein. The picture was taken after the liberation in 1945.
Where was it taken?
I don't know. He was liberated in Ebensee, near Mauthausen. Probably the picture was taken there. This picture, I remember he told me, was taken after the liberation in Feldafing. This was a DP camp before I met him. That's how he looked. Yes, this picture was taken in 1945 when I met my husband. This was in Leipheim.
Were you married already?
No, we weren't married.
You look very stylish. Who
Yeah.
made that dress?
Yeah, I made it.
You made it.
I made it. That's why the girls, they envy. They said, why are you running after her? Because she's dressed nicer.
They were envious.
Yeah. This picture was taken after we got married. We went like for a honeymoon to Frankfurt am Main. They had built up a memorial for the Holocaust survivors. And that's where we took the picture. This was in 1946.
What kind of monument is this?
It's for this Holocaust, some kind of monument.
For
They
the
had-
Holocaust
yeah.
survivors.
It was made in Germany in 1946. This is my daughter, Susan. This picture was taken when she graduated from high school in the Bronx. What year was it? It must be 1963 or 64. I don't remember.
She was your miracle child?
Yeah,
Your
she was
first
my
miracle child?
Yeah, the first miracle child. This is my son, Warren, when he graduated high school. This was taken in 1967.
Who were the children named after? Who was Warren named after?
After my father.
And Susan?
Susan is after my mother. Her name is Chaya Sura. She's Chai after my husband's mother and Sur after my mother.
And,
Because
and Warren's name?
Warren is just Zev, Wolf, after my father. From the right hand, sitting down, this is my granddaughter Sherry. From the right side, standing up, is my granddaughter Linda. Near Linda is Michael. Then is my son-in-law Owen, my daughter Susan, my grandson Robert, and sitting down is Joanne. That's my 5 grandchildren.
What was the occasion for this
This was Robert's wedding. It was a Robert's wedding. Then the whole family was together. This is my first grandson, Robert, and he married the beautiful girl Jill. They married August 1992. My husband was still made it to their wedding.
He still made it.
Yeah, he made it to his wedding.
In your wildest dreams, did you think about that you will have a beautiful family like this?
No way, no way, no way. Yeah, this picture was taken August the 30th, 1992. That's my grandson got married, Robert, and his beautiful wife, Jill, was here. We took this picture. This was the best picture taken from my husband because he was already in a wheelchair. He was very sick. And this is a very important picture to me.
He wanted to attend
Yeah, he hardly made it already. But then we didn't finish the whole ceremony. The chuppah was in a botanical garden in the
Bronx.
Not in the Bronx. In the Brooklyn. Botanical garden in Brooklyn was the chuppah. We made it to the chuppah, and then, but after everything, he got sick, and we had to come home before even the wedding was finished, and then he was sick already.
So that's why this picture is very important.
Yeah, it's very important because this was the best picture taken from him. This is my grandson, Robert's son. This is my great-grandson. His name is Max. This is a baby. I have 4 great-grandsons. I love them all, but this is Max.
He is named after?
He's named after my husband, after his great-grandfather.
Your husband wasn't able to see him?
No, my husband didn't live to see him, no. He lived to see his grandson get married, and that's all. And he went. I showed the oldest one. This is my youngest great-grandson. My granddaughter's Linda, and this is her baby now. He's just a couple of months old, and he's gorgeous.
What's
we love him. His name is Aaron. This is my oldest great-grandson. It's Linda's son, the oldest one. His name is Spencer. Spencer Matthew. He's named after my husband, too. He has 2 names. She gave me the honor. She was the first one to name him after my husband. It's Spencer Matthew. I love them all. This is my granddaughter Joanne's baby. His name is Jacob Mark. She named him after my husband too, the second name. It's a gorgeous baby, and I'm very lucky to live to see 4 great-grandchildren. I hope I'm going to live to see many, many more.
At least one granddaughter or great-grandchild. Beautiful.
Yeah, that's my son Warren. I'm very sorry. He's far away, or he's very near to me. We're very close. I love him very much. He was home for Thanksgiving, and he told me he bought himself a new truck, and he made a picture. That's the picture what he left me now. I love you, Warren. I'm sorry you're not here. Or
And
you're still here with us.
he lives in Denver, Colorado.
He lives in Denver, Colorado. He's a teacher, and he likes it there.
Mrs. Borenstein, would you introduce your family to us, please?
Yes. That's my son-in-law, the best son-in-law in the whole wide world. It's Alan. That's my daughter. She, like she said, she was my miracle baby, but I love her very much. And this was my first grandson. In addition to my grandson, his wife, Jill, this is my fourth generation, Max. That's my baby grandson, Michael. Mahou, named after my brother.
In your wildest dream, I asked you that before, did you ever think that that many beautiful lives will come out from
In my
your
wildest
story?
dream, I didn't think that I'm going to survive this, And I made it, and thank God. And I'm living a beautiful family that they're going to remember us forever, Especially I told you about the tombstone, what I made, and with the numbers, and with everything together, then it's something they can't forget.
Who is missing from this family picture?
No, it's missing. Like my son is not here. My granddaughter Sherry's not here. My granddaughter Linda. And my granddaughter Joanne. They're all my grandchildren, and I love them all the same. And I have the 4 great-grandsons. Then I have just the one here. The other one, it's not easy to get them together,
I'm asking this from Susan, and mainly Susan. Growing up in a family with 2 survivors, you think it influenced your life or life choices greatly?
Greatly. It influenced me as a human being living in this world. It gave me a lot of vulnerability, but also gave me a tremendous amount of strength. My mother is an example of courage, honor. She was an example of someone to really look up to, and I still do. And I admire her, have always admired her. She is probably the most unique human being I have ever known in my life. My father is also someone who I admire greatly and miss terribly. The frustration that I feel throughout my life because of their experiences probably can never be satisfied. So it's something that I will just have to live with. It hurts me that it took her so many years to relieve herself of this burden in talking about it as openly as she's been able to today. I wish that my father had been able to do the same thing so many years ago, that there wasn't the support that so many different people with problems have nowadays weren't given to these people 45 years ago, because maybe at that time many of them could have been happier throughout the rest of their lives because of their experiences. And I think that in turn, as a child of 2 survivors, I am also living with the burden of all of their burdens. And sometimes it's very difficult to live in a modern world with all those burdens of 50, 60 years ago. But I of course, cannot change it, nor would I want to change it. It has made me who I am, and I am thankful that I have been fortunate enough in my life to have children and grandchildren to perpetuate my ancestry. And hopefully, I know I will remember, and hopefully through this, my children and grandchildren will also remember.
Thank you. And how about you, the second generation? You are somewhat removed from Susan's experiences, but you still, something trickled down there. Could you talk
I think
about
we were still subject to many of the stories that I'm sure my grandmother has filled you in on today. And what amazes me the most is, I suppose, when I look at my son and myself and my mother, I guess you realize, a certain turn or course of events had taken place, and in a sense, I have benefited from it, and my son has, for really, I guess, given the opportunity to be born. And had certain events not taken place or taken place at a different time, my grandmother may have never met my grandfather, and we would have never existed. This whole lineage would not have been here today. So.
Is being Jewish tradition, is that important to all of you?
It's quite important, and I think it's even more important based on what my grandparents had gone through because of their religion. It certainly makes you think about religion a little more in a different sense than you normally would.
How about you?
Well, I can definitely say that I am, and I'm sure my brother and my sisters, obviously every children are who they are because of their parents, and it was hard for me to understand the way I was treated and the values that I was given when I was younger, but it's definitely 100% as a result of the way my mom was brought up. The way my mother was brought up was the way she treated me, and that's all because of what my grandparents went through. So, and it's only been, I guess, the last couple of years I've gotten older that I realized the importance of what they've been trying to say, and that their suffering has, and what they went through made me who I am, and it's definitely my strong morals and what I stand for is I can attribute to my grandparents.
Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you. You want to say something, Alan?
Sorry, I didn't ask you.
He talks the most.
You come from a family of survivors?
No, I'm American born, as my parents are American born, and I have been honored to. I never thought of my mother-in-law or my father-in-law as anything other than a mother and father. I feel honored to have been part of their lives, the experiences of knowing the people that have survived what they've survived, the hardships, is certainly something that I, as an individual living in the safe haven of the United States, have never experienced. I find my in-laws to be miraculous people, and I think their experiences have given me tremendous enlightenment and value to human life, and I'm just very happy for the experience. And we certainly appreciate as a family the efforts that are taking place to keep this whole experience alive, because I think what happened 50 years ago can certainly repeat itself as it does repeat itself through history. And it's important that each generation know exactly what took place.
Thank you very much.
I,